Hello YouTube, my name is Justice Vlogger Man, and today we're going to be looking at Hangul, the Korean alphabet. Just a quick side note, what did you think of my new intro? It's quite super cool, and if you want to know how to make this sort of intro, I'll show you the video that is somewhere on the internet talking about how to do it or something. Anyways, 안녕하세요 YouTube. Recently I've been learning some Korean, so I figured I'll take today on WorldWide Wednesday, I'll talk about the Korean alphabet. Now the great thing about the Korean alphabet is it was actually written by one guy who had one cohesive system for notating sound. So instead of having like seemingly random characters, most of the characters actually tell you how to pronounce them. And we'll just start with this one. This is an O or a 0, goose egg. It makes no sound. So it's literally nothing, no sound. Okay, now this one, I drew a little arrow so you know which way is up. This makes the G sound. Well, how do you get G out of this drawing? So imagine you had your face like this, looking this way. This is your tongue in your mouth. You're pressing the top of your tongue up against the roof of your mouth and making a sound, so G. So go ahead and try it with the video, G. So that's the sound. Now I'm sure all of these letters have names or something, but that's not really important because just like in English, you don't really need to know what letter each one is, what name each letter has. You just need to know the sound. This one is the same thing. This one tells you to put your tongue to the roof of the mouth. This one tells us to put the top of the tip of your tongue towards the roof of your mouth. Again, going like this. This would be to make this shape with your tongue. It's just N. So N. You make the N sound. So yeah, you put your tongue to the roof of the mouth, to the tip, and you blow out N. N. Yep. Now this one, what is this one saying? And actually, this one's backwards. This one's supposed to be like this. To draw a nice little layer. There we go. So what is this one saying? This one, you take your tongue and you put the tip of it as far back as you can, and then you blow out. That makes the duh sound. Just duh. That's what you're making. And of course, when you say it in speech, you might slur it together, you might make it a little bit faster, but it's just the duh sound. Duh. This one here is, you just have to memorize this one. This one is M sound. M. Typically, as an English speaker, I will use the vowel afterwards, almost like a soft A, maybe a U sound, just to practice of the consonants. But the next week's video, we'll talk about different vowel sounds. So if you want to see that video, go ahead and subscribe, or just check back in 7 days. So this is the M sound. This right here, I call this the rat tail because it makes the R sound, almost like an R, but almost like an L. So imagine if you were going to go and make your tongue just freak out in your mouth, just make a R sound. Almost as if a Latin R, as if you were going to roll your R, just R. Alright. And this one is just the only one that you have to memorize besides the map. I guess the three things you have to memorize is 1, 2, and this one. This one, it makes the B sound. B as in like baloney. So, or baby. It's a B sound. This one just makes a sound. Just. So, there you go. See, or it's soft it makes the S sound. So again, just imagine the sound you make, like you're not putting the tip of your tongue, you're not putting the back of your tongue, you're just putting the middle of your tongue up to the roof of your mouth. This one, now this one makes the P sound. This one symbol allows us to learn the rest of the symbols. This makes the P sound. Why does it make the P sound? If you have the M here, anytime in Korean you see like any lines coming out from a shape, it means to put more emphasis on the central or the base character. So like for example, you have lines on the M, you just make your mouth make the shape of the M, from getting ready to make a and then you blow out. You close your mouth and then you just blow out. And you get it. It's almost like a softer P. There you go. Now, using the same logic of adding lines to increase the emphasis, if you take the tongue curl back symbol, this would be a D normally, duh, and you add a line right here, now it becomes, you make the shape of a D and you blow out, tuh, tuh, and you get the T sound. As in English we would say just a T. Because a lot of this language developed independently, they would have different ways of coming about the T sound. In English, it's typical to put the tongue up against the top of the tip of the teeth. That's why younger children might have a lisp and might have issues with using the tip of their tongue. They just made it from the middle of their mouth, so it makes the T sound from the back of their mouth. And this one, if you add a line to it, and remember this is the G sound, you're putting your whole top front part of your tongue on the back to make the G sound. Well, if you add here, now you make the shape of a G, so put your tongue to the roof of your mouth, and then you blow out. You get the K sound, because you're imagining a G, but if you put more force, K, 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 K. Don't transliterate that, please. And don't comment that down below. Yeah, so if you get K, 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 K for that letter. So that's all you need to know. That's all the consonants, with some exceptions. Okay, if we take this same logic of adding a line just to let you know you're adding a line to mean to blow out air. You take this, which makes no sound. It's literally just a placeholder in syllables. And if you add a line, it will just, I think this is actually the shape, so we'll just imagine you're adding one line. This here actually, typically, or traditionally rather, this up here would have been a dot, but now everyone just does it as another line, just because it's easier to write, and it looks a little bit nicer. So you make no sound, and then you blow out. Just makes an H sound. Oh no. So yeah, so you make no sound and you blow out to make a H sound. Just like house, that type of H. Alrighty, and this one is just the only one that's weird with this. So if you have a S and you blow out, you get a J. Because if you're making the shape of an S and you blow out, you get a J. It's kind of muddled, but J. And that's how they came across that sound, like, oh, this is a distinct sound. In English, we would just have like the letter J. Also, what you can do is this symbol we added up here. If you add it up here, this makes the CH sound. So you're imagining making the J, so J, and then you add more power, more air. J, J, J. You naturally get that not quite as crisp ch sound. There you go, and that's how they get the ch sound. So just like in English, you would have GIF versus GIF. You might have the same deal with ch versus j. I don't know. Well, anyways, guys, this is my short tutorial on how to read Hangul. This is part 1, just the consonants. To watch next week, I'll be doing part 2 on how to read vowels, and then the week after, I'll be doing a tutorial on how to understand syllables and string syllables into words, and then you can read Korean. Boom shakalaka. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and if you do me a favor, subscribe. And the cards or something.